Welcome, one, and welcome all to another episode of the Friday Podcast with your host, formerly known as, let's see if y'all can see this, Little X, currently known as Chris Chaos. Shout out to the Mavericks for making it to the playoffs. No, sorry. I sound like an idiot. I promise you, I have not been watching. It's been a long time. But shout out to them for making it to the finals. I know what I'm talking about. I don't even know who we're playing. Well, I was going to do news first. I can't start with news first. I got to start with this background. Of course, a horse. Hopefully all has been well. I was trying to sit outside and try to get a little bit of color so I didn't look too ghostly in this jersey. Plus I'm pretty hot. I was trying to tan in my backyard. And I stand up tanning because I don't want to lay down because of the bugs and shit. And then if I put a blanket, I don't know, I don't want to fall asleep and then get burnt. So I'm literally just standing there. And then I'll turn around and try to get the other side. And then sometimes I try to block my neck and shit. It was a really dumb way, so I'm glad nobody saw me. Hopefully nobody saw me. Yeah. I even tried this new method I heard about for a couple seconds. They say, I heard this on Bad of Friends podcast with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. I'm trying to make myself look kind of muscular. They say if you show your butthole to the sun, if you moon the sun, but literally open your cheeks, right? And it's supposed to give you a lot of, what's that shit called? Not masculinity. Testosterone or some shit. It's supposed to be really good for you. I don't know if that's true or not, so I tried it for a second. I feel okay. It was kind of it was a decent day, you know. There was a special kind of full moon last night or the day before last night. It's like a red blood wolf moon or some shit. You know, I love the moon. Well, I don't love the moon. I mean, I love that we have a moon. I have love for the moon. I like that it's like a battery and it charges up our crystals and stuff. I put all my crystals out there, let them charge up. But nobody ever gives shout out to the sun. Well, I mean, there's a whole day for the sun. But, you know what I mean? Because the sun it's never a half sun or a full sun. It's always full sun, nonstop. And then if it doesn't show up, sometimes the moon's just not even there. If the sun doesn't show up, we fucking die. Shout out to the sun. Shout out to God for making the sun, the creator or whoever you believe in, the universe, whatever, for this perfect ability to survive where we are. I mean, I have it so good. I'm living paycheck to paycheck and even behind on that shit. But compared to the rest of the world, the majority of us that are watching the podcast are rich. So anyway, be grateful for what you have. Don't think too much about what you don't have. What else? I haven't seen Doctor Strange yet, but I couldn't wait any longer. And told my son to spoil it for me, so he basically told me what it was, and I like the way he told me. I will watch it probably when it goes on Disney Plus. Like I said, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not a kid, so it's he needs to go and do those things. I know. And he'd rather go with his friends now. He's 13. So. Speaking of, there was this one thing I asked him some advice, and I was like, hey, should I, I didn't want to do something, but he's like, if you don't, it's going to seem kind of petty. And I was like, but I am kind of petty. But he was right, and I'm trying not to be as petty. I had a 2-hour long conversation with my mom on Saturday about a lot of things, and it was pretty enlightening, motivating. I think I'm going to start writing down my goals. You know, on this podcast in particular, I've talked about me quitting the that the Devil's 30 DVDs, if you know what I mean. And I did, finally. And it's interesting. I already feel a change. I had to unfollow triggers on social media. But it's been pretty good so far. I like it because it was just making me stay up late for no reason and wasting time, and it wasn't even the same as it was before. And I was like, you know what, this is childish. And actually, my cousin told me that. Shout out to my cousin. He told me it's just childish, you know, like it's just something that you gotta just move on from. And it's true, it's a trap. Most healthy people, successful healthy people, aren't like. Yeah, but anyway, so doing this podcast and the subscribers and the commenters and the well-wishers, and it has inspired me too to be a better me for y'all, to make a better show. Because the better I am, the better I can be, more entertaining for y'all. Like, I won't be so slacky. Like, if I didn't watch the Devil's Dirty DVDs at all, you know, who knows where I'd be right now. But, I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? So, definitely got a lot of possible comedy material from all those Dirty Devil DVDs, but I might just not even. Anyway, all right, jumping right in. Oh, look at the first question. It's a number that we can't really use here that much anymore. But 420 says, if you could ask your future self one question, what would it be? Sorry, I got a lot of stuff up here. I would ask myself, when did you fuck it, that's how we're gonna rock and roll today. Oh, look, Luigi. Is Luigi holding on? Oh my god. Luigi! What the fuck? He's surviving. What happened to your wife? Where is Daisy? She died, motherfucker. Oh shit, Daisy died? Alright, well, Luigi, gonna go down with her. Okay. Wait, what did I ask myself? When did I clean my room? No. I don't know. What would I ask my future self? If I could ask my future self one question. Oh, what do you regret the most? See what he says. See what I say. 421, what's the worst things your parents ever said to you? I'm gonna go with something corny and say, but it's probably true. It's probably real. But I'm gonna say when they probably, and I don't recall when, but I can probably pinpoint a certain time when they said they were disappointed in me. Because when a parent, you know how they always portray that in movies or shows, it's like, I'm not mad at you, I'm just disappointed, and it's like, oh, that's worse. Whoa, what was your worst nightmare? Ooh, is this a real nightmare, like a night terror, or is it a nightmare like a situational nightmare? What was your worst nightmare? It's very interesting. I don't know. My worst nightmare was... Let's just go with the dream one, because I know we could get too real and we might hurt some feelings. What was the question? What was your worst nightmare? I don't really remember a lot of nightmares. When I was a kid, I used to have nightmares that people were gonna break into my house because of this stupid ass movie called Copycat. If I have time, I'm gonna put a pic. It's not even it's a thriller. It's not even like a horror movie, but that shit fucked me up. My dad wasn't around a lot when we were kids, so I just always assumed people were gonna come in and gang rape my mom or something. I mean, I don't even think they did it, but they like strangled this woman. I just remember they strangled this woman on there, and it was like copycats, so a lot of people were doing it, and I was just like, fucking robbers! They're gonna come into my apartment and steal the shit we don't fucking have. We had like a Nintendo. What were they gonna... Oh, Chris. Do you hold a grudge? Nah, I'm gonna say no. I don't think so. I'm gonna try not to at all, ever. Because it's unhealthy. It doesn't befit anybody. Have you ever crashed the wedding? No, but when I was younger, I used to crash quinceañeras. Oh, like when I was in high school, I guess. Did I? I think I was invited to all. I don't know if I ever crashed a party. I would feel too... I don't have enough confidence to just go show to a party I'm not even fucking invited to. Or a wedding. What is this? Wedding crashers? In your opinion, what is the most toxic personality trait? Oh, toxic. What is my most toxic? Toxic traits. Greed, envy. And these aren't necessarily me, but just on anybody. Greed, envy. Wait, are those the same things? No, those are different. In your opinion, oh no, I already said that one. How are you quirky? Sometimes I'll say some random ass shit, I guess. I don't know. I guess you could call that quirky in a way. Unless quirky is LGBTQ. Oh no, that's for something else. Is there something missing from your life? Right now? Maybe the love of my life. Alright, let's stop there because it's pretty corny. What segment shall we go into first? Let's see. I gotta clean up that desk to do the news. Alright, so I talked about this the other day, but I didn't really go into it. But there was a little garter or garden snake in my room the other day on the ground, and it freaked me out. But I was able to get like a couple boxes, like these energy drink boxes. They're like not even half a box, like a third of a box. And I scooped them in there and took them outside. And then I put them in the yard, but my mom said, no, throw them over the fence because there's a creek over there. And I was like, but he's not gonna, how are we gonna get him back in the, she was able to get him back in there from the grass. And I mean, he was trying to stay inside the house, bro, I guess because the AC. And she threw him over the fence. But he, you know, it was kind of cute. Like, he was kind of looking at me and he's like, you know what I mean? Like, he was kind of cute. So I looked it up, of course. Snakes. So I even drew a little snake. This one looked kind of evil, though. The one I saw was a lot cuter. Okie dokie. So, yourtango.com says that snakes symbolize a variety of things: wisdom, protection, rebirth, fertility, healing, renewal, and primal energy. I don't know why I'm doing this. I am primal energy. Also, I was born in the year of the snake in Chinese mythology. And when I first took Hogwarts test to see which school I would be in, it was Slytherin. And then I retook it. No, I took the official test. So I took a non-official test and it said Slytherin. I took an official test and it said Gryffindor. Which is, nobody gives a fuck. Okay, TrustedPsychicMediums.com says the meaning of the snake is also about transformation. It signifies rebirth and transmutation. It is also the total opposite of the raven spirit animal. I don't know what that means. When it sheds off its skin, the same can be said when you're going through something uncomfortable. You just want to wear a different skin or a different persona to help you cope. Spirit-animals.com says that the snake totem or spirit animal people with the snake totem are often finding that they are, like the beetle totem, going through constant changes in their lives. Luckily, they usually move through smoothly. They also have a natural ability to balance energy. Balance. Often people with the spirit animal are gifted healers. TheAstrologyWeb.com says that dreaded by many, a snake is a symbol of rebirth, shrewdness, patience, intellect, fertility again, longevity, vigilance, eternity, because you know, you ever see that snake that's eating its tail, like it just keeps going and going. Protection, rejuvenation, intuition, enigma, and splendor. A ground-dwelling animal, it suggests you stay grounded despite any changes or any changing situation in your life. DreamAstroMeanings.com says that if a snake goes slowly across your path, it symbolizes patience that is needed in everyone's life. You should know that a snake will give you strength and support for all your efforts. It is also important to say that if a snake is your spirit animal, then you must be a person with charisma and great flexibility. Last but not least, finally, AngelicalBalance.com says, whenever you find a snake in your path, it is a sign that the universe is calling you to a high level of spirituality. There is always going to be a tendency of getting distracted by the things we do in the physical world. Therefore, whenever we begin to lose focus of the spiritual realm, the universe can send the snake to us as an alert signal. Very interesting. I like that. Again, like I'm just reading some of these for the first time. Okay. What's the angel number? We get that one first before we do the next animal. Yes. So, also wrapping up this segment or this series of angel numbers, with the 2 being the mirror. 929. Angelnumber.org says 929 is a message from the universe and your guardian angels, supporting you on your journey towards spiritual involvement and reaching spiritual enlightenment. The angels ask you to be patient and trust that you are being guided into making the right steps on this journey. TrustedPsychicMediums.com says that angel number 929 is one of the angel numbers associated with the love life of people. Hey. Angels use this number to help you learn many things about your love life. One of the things that angel number 929 symbolizes is that you have a harmonious and stable romantic relationship. Well, not yet. It shows the amount of peace that you have with your partner. Sunsigns.org says that 929 is an angel number that has a unique numerology. 9 is mentioned twice as 99 to mark the end of a term. 2 is a symbol of balance. It is the way Mother Nature works to make everything okay. 9-2 is an omega number. This is the end of injustice and corruption. 2-9 is a sign of resilience. It is persistence towards a certain goal. The Secret of the Tarot.com says that 929 tells you that this is the right time to take affirmative action. You have been hoping for things in your life to change for the better. You desire for your life to grow to the next level. This is the right time to be proactive. The divine, I'm dropping more shit behind me. The divine realm is urging you to take the right steps. The waiting is finally over. SubconsciousServant.com says that 929 often signifies new beginnings, which will sprout from closures. It is true that when one door closes, another one opens. Your guardian angels are asking you to be at peace with endings because they are happening for your own good. You don't need anything that doesn't serve your interests and highest good. So that just touches back to what I was talking about earlier. 929. Let's see. What should we do? What should we do? Alright. So I've been seeing some wasp. So I wanted to do wasps. That's a weird word. Wasps. I have a little video of one. I might put it up where there's a wasp carrying this thing and it's making a home or a nest inside of a chandelier. No, what is it called? Wind chime. And I'm like, that's the worst place to put your eggs. No, maybe it's the best. I don't know. So, wasps. AwakeningState.com says that to see a wasp, whether in real life or in your dreams, in images or on television, it is a sure sign from your guides or angels that it's time to act to make something in your life happen. Are you thinking about a new project, work venture, or side hustle? If so, the wasp representing itself to you means it's time to go. SodaLightMinds.com says that the wasp totem, as a totem, animal wasp will represent independence, painful truths, loving drama, being a warrior, and protector. While also meaning that you will be moving slowly through relationships, like in summer more than winter, you may be seen as an authority figure by others. TrustedPsychicMediums.com says that the meaning of the wasp simply wants you to expect the unexpected and do your best to prepare yourself. Do not force things to happen the way you want, because life does not work that way. You can expect to have new beginnings and new projects when you have the wasp symbolism in your life. It brings a new season, so be very excited. Antiflow without the W.com says that the wasp may be just like other insects around, trying to create a name in the mystical realm. However, have you noticed wasps being a part of many superstitious plots and stories? For the record, the wasp promotes concepts related to diligence, conformity, assembly, structure, communication, connection, progress, yield, efficiency, and those related to such. AngelicalBalance.com says that there's some symbolism in Hindu religion. I'm going to slaughter this name, and I don't mean to. Brahmari is an avatar of Hindu goddess Parvati and is affixed with hornets, bees, and wasps grasped all over her body. This symbolizes the presence of wasps as a goddess herself and makes them sacred in Hinduism as well. Wasp as a symbol of new beginnings. Eye-catching wasps daily may be giving you the signs that it's the right time for new beginnings, applying new insights, and thinking from a unique perspective to get the latest opportunities or desired results. Wasp symbolism symbolizes control over circumstances. When you look closer at the lives of wasps, you will notice how hard they compete to survive the changes around them and overcome all obstacles on the way. This is how wasps motivate many people to learn solidity in the most challenging situations. Wasps symbolize courage. They always show up to provide you with the courage if your mind is stuck and the fear of failure haunts you. Spotting a wasp at such times hardens your degree of confidence and displays you with more firmness. That's what it should do. That's what it can't do. That's what the meaning might be of the sighting. All right. So we are going to take a break and we'll be right back with another new segment. I mean, it's not new anymore. It's new now, but it's, yeah. Be right back. And we are back with the segments, I think I'm gonna start calling anxiety news. So I saw this one. It says on MSN.com, UPI.com on MSN.com. So it says depression, anxiety increase most among minorities during pandemic. It goes further. Americans' rate of depression and anxiety spiked during the first year of the pandemic. I mean, that makes complete sense. But the increases were much more pronounced among Black, Hispanic, and Asian people than among white people, new research shows. What kind of research are they? I don't understand the research. Like, are they going around asking people, hey, how anxious were you during the pandemic? How depressed were you during the... Like, I don't... It's really hard for me to just buy into these studies. I almost feel like sometimes these articles are to put that out there so that us minorities start thinking that we are, like, it puts us in that mindset in a way. Like, I think it's kind of like trying to manifest that into us, and it's not cool. It's not cool at all. So yeah, I don't know about that one. That's pretty interesting. Now I need to respond to a text message. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna finish the news. So yeah, I mean, it's very hard for me to... And if it's true, I mean, why is it true? Because, I mean, during the pandemic, they were saying, yeah, you know, minorities are more susceptible to dying from COVID. Ooh, I don't want to say that word. From COVID. Ooh, I don't want to say that. From the C word. And so, like, you know, obviously all that news and shit where they were saying, yeah, you know, most of y'all are gonna get it. It's more fatal when y'all get it. Like, it just kind of fucked with our heads, obviously. And it can lead into some conspiracy theories stuff, but point blank, it being out there in the news and the zeitgeist puts that in people's heads, and I think makes them more susceptible to falling for that. I don't know, that's just me. All right, next one from Anxiety News. Should our kids be screened for anxiety? This is from Yahoo, which is a weird news source name. Remember the old school Yahoo? So let's see. Thomas Trutchell from Getty, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force issued a draft statement in April 2022 recommending screening for anxiety in children and adolescents between the age of 8 and 18. This recommendation, which is still open for public comment, is timely. In both cases, the aim... Now, I just got some of it, right? So I skipped a little bit. And it says, in both cases, the aim is to reduce symptoms and to prevent lifelong chronic mental health problems. But it is important to note that a screening does not equal a diagnosis. Diagnostic assessment is more in-depth and costs more, while screening is intended to be brief, efficient, and cost-effective. Screening for anxiety in a primary care setting may involve completion of short questionnaires by the child and or parent, similar to how pediatricians frequently screen kids for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. But when pediatricians screen for them, I mean, I don't know how it works, but I think a pediatrician, I don't know. That's that's tricky because like I want to see the questions. I want to see what kind of like testing are they doing. Is it obvious? Like, are they just going to be saying, "Oh yeah, they got anxiety. Oh yeah, they got anxiety," and then it's like, well, we talked about last time. Maybe the anxiety that they have is not a disorder. Maybe it's just regular anxiety. It's quite interesting. Something to think about. That'll be it today for Anxiety News. We'll be right back with another news. All right. Segment. Welcome to the Friday Podcast movie and show review. So the last couple weeks I did movies. Today I'm going to be doing a series. And it's been out for a while, so hopefully I don't drop any spoilers. So I wrote a little summation. I'm just going to read it off. Let's see what I said. I forgot what I said already. And it's about the book of Boba Fett. So, according to me, I said, kinda dumb how they explained him escaping the desert worm, but it wasn't a horrible explanation. Cool how it starts directly after that from the OG movie. A little confusing sometimes when it goes back and forth between the timelines. I liked his method of ruling as a fair ruler as much as possible. Having to deal with some space drugs and space gangs made it feel like a modern Western or gang flick. Instead of King of New York, Boba is King of Tatooine. Seeing more of the Hutts add to their mafioso lore as well. Because you always hear about the Hutts. But when you see a couple of them, it's like, oh, now, you know, they have a presence. When the Mandalorian shows up, it's a great surprise. Spoilers. And I immediately thought of the heartfelt series, The Mandalorian, which showed up off the relationship between... Okay, that was pretty high when I wrote that. I immediately thought of the heartfelt series, The Mandalorian, which showed the relationship between Grogu and Mando. The way he has to admit the Mandalore... Oh, the way that in that episode, because there's like a couple episodes at the end of the series where it's just out of nowhere the Mandalorian, but it shows how he comes into with Boba Fett. The way he has to admit to the Mandalore ruler that he's taken off his helmet, leading him to being kicked out, the fight for the Darksaber, and making the little chainmail for Grogu was so badass to see play out. Like, that was just great. Love letter to the Mandalorian series, both those seasons. The Mandalorian is such a great actor, the guy who plays him, even when he has the fucking helmet on. You know how good you gotta be of an actor to... You don't even gotta show your face and you still have to show emotion and shit. You know, it's pretty bizarre. The blue space cowboy, I don't know his name, people might be mad at me, was badass, as well as the other crossovers, because I heard he's from the cartoon, of Luke and the other Jedi from the animated series, Ashoka or something like that, which I haven't watched. And it's hard for me to get into the animated series now. I just can't. I was very happy and may have even cried when, spoiler, Grogu chooses to go back with Mando. The mother figure lady was with the fro. Oh yeah, the lady who reminds me of the lady from Cheers, Danny DeVito's wife. Was another side character that added more joy to the show. Like a little light, because everything's kind of dark. Not visually, because it's all desert and bright. It's a great series. I feel that these two series, The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett, are love letters to the fans, whereas the last trilogy of the Star Wars saga was hate mail. So, I don't know if I could do 5 for a series like Boba Fett, because there's a couple parts that are like, they kind of drag. But, it kept me in there. The ending was strong. The beginning was dope. A little bit of the middle lagged a little bit. So I'm gonna give it a 4, right? And that's an incredible, maybe 4.5. I'll try to do 4.5 because of the. It's hard. I don't know because I don't have a scale. I need to create a scale. Like what movies are 1 star, what movies are, and then I have a scale. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this kind of movies, this kind of movie, you know. So yeah, between 4 and 5 stars. So let's just say 4.5. All right. We'll be back after a short break with more of the Friday Podcast. Sorry. All right. Now, I have one more spirit animal that I've been needing to do for a while. But yesterday, I saw like a little squirrel fight or some shit in the trees, and one squirrel fell and kind of landed, and like it looked like he caught himself with his feet. He was like, and caught himself, and then he climbed onto a big branch, was like laying there, and he looked at me, and I was like, whoa, you all right, dude? So anyway, squirrels. I drew an ugly, weird looking squirrel right there. Alright, so what's the spiritual meaning of seeing a squirrel possibly? Spiritual-galaxy.com says, squirrel as a spirit animal has a similar meaning and symbolism with wolves as a spirit animal. Both indicate that you might need to consider lightening your load of unnecessary things that no longer service you. It could be that you have collected suppressed emotions and problems that you might still bring in the future, cluttering your life. SolarLightMinds.com says, squirrels symbolize abundance. Again, fertility. Hey, maybe I'll be having a new kid soon once I get a lot of money. And new beginnings. New relationship. They are a sign of good luck, and they often appear when there is something new in store for you. When you see a squirrel, it is a reminder to enjoy the moment and be grateful for all the blessings in your life. AngelNumber.org says that the squirrel as a spirit animal appears when something new is about to come into your life. In fact, it appears to help you release the burden of the past and all that accumulated stress and worry. With the squirrel, you can easily get rid of all that weight that you no longer need in order to be more open to the future that is to come. WhatIsMySpiritAnimal.com says that the squirrel spirit is known for having quite a voice. Whoa, I've seen squirrels, for some reason, like the angry squirrels, like when I'm walking, sometimes I'll be walking, I guess you could call him my nephew, but my sister and her fiance's dog, and there's some aggressive squirrels that be like, it's like a weird sound they make. I don't even know how to repeat it. And sometimes over here, and like, I think one time I saw like some squirrels fighting with a cardinal and a blue. It was weird. Where was I? Okay, when they play, they chatter. When they sense danger, their vocalization warns other squirrels nearby. To us, this means finding our voice and using it effectively. Being mindful of our words, Chris, and honoring their power is a part of squirrel medicine. Whoa. Elementally, squirrels are solar creatures. TrustedPsychicMediums.com says that the squirrel meaning is about surrendering and letting things happen, just like the raccoon meaning. Common squirrel spirit animal meanings include that the squirrel spirit animal highlights the importance of communication and showing respect to the people around you through your words, actions, and behavior. I'm smiling because it's synchronous to my life. I don't think that's a word. Synchronous. MillersGuild.com says that the squirrels can symbolize playfulness, planning and preparation, socialization skills, and bringing balance to life, as well as energy, a messenger of both good and bad, and resourcefulness. Shout out to squirrels, man. They're very interesting, cute little rodents. Very close to rats, though. But they're cute, you know. One time when I don't know when it was, my dad showed me, my son, and my sister a video. I had a skin a rat. Not a rat, a squirrel. Yeah. Okay, so is this all? Yeah. All right, so let's see. Badass Women in History. From episode 82 of the Friday podcast. All right, so I was asking like the other day I was asking my mom like, hey, what tell me a famous woman, and she would say like, you know, Rosa Parks or other than that, Selena Quintanilla, and I was like, all right, that's cool, but I want to do women that most people that aren't known commonly, right? So that's why I've been avoiding the OGs they usually go to, you know. Not that I'm saying that I'll never do it, but at least for now, I know there's a lot of women in history that we don't know about. So I was just seeing if she would throw one out there that I didn't think about. So I found one. All right, badass women in history. Emma Rowena Caldwell Gatewood, better known as Grandma Gatewood, born October 25th, 1887, died June 4th, 1973. She was an American ultralight hiking pioneer. After a difficult life as a farm wife, mother of 11 children, and survivor of domestic violence, she became famous as the first solo female through hiker of the 2,168-mile Appalachian Trail in 1955 at the age of 67. She subsequently became the first person, male or female, to hike the Appalachian Trail 3 times. After completing a second through hike 2 years later, followed by a section hike in 64. In the meantime, she hiked 2,000 miles of the Oregon Trail in 1959. Shout out to those old school people of my age that have played the Oregon Trail on the computer. In her later years, she continued to travel and hike and worked on a section of what would become the Buckeye Trail. The media coverage surrounding her feats were credited for generating interest in maintaining the Appalachian Trail and in hiking generally. Among many other honors, she was posthumously inducted into the Appalachian Trail Hall of Fame in 2012. Early life and education. Gatewood was born to a family of 15 children in Guyon Township, Gallia County, Ohio. Her father, Hugh Caldwell, a farmer, turned to a life of drinking and gambling after his leg was amputated in the Civil War. The child rearing of the family was left to her mother, Evelyn Caldwell. Emma and her siblings slept 4 to a bed in their log cabin. Her formal education ended with the 8th grade, but she enjoyed reading encyclopedias and the Greek classics and taught herself about wildlife and woodland plants that could be used as medicines and food. She also enjoyed writing poetry. On May 5th, 1907, at the age of 19, she married 27-year-old Perry Clayton Gatewood, a college-educated primary school teacher and later tobacco farmer with whom she had 11 children. Almost immediately, her husband set her to work burning tobacco beds, building fences, and mixing cement, in addition to her expected housework duties. What an asshole. Although PC was recognized in the community as a man of above-average intellect, he had a mean streak. Within months of the wedding, he started to beat his wife, a vicious pattern that continued for the duration of their marriage. In 1924, he was convicted of manslaughter after killing a man during an argument. He was ordered to pay restitution to the widow of the victim, but his prison sentence was suspended because he had 9 children and a farm to take care of. Emma recalled being beaten nearly to death on several occasions. When her husband became violent, she would often run into the woods where she found peace and solitude. In 1939, after yet another violent fight, PC arranged to have his wife arrested and jailed. Seeing her with broken teeth and a cracked rib, the town mayor took her in and found her a job. She filed for divorce in September 1940, and in February 1941, she testified against her husband in a hearing that resulted in the divorce being granted, giving her custody of the 3 children still at home, and with alimony to be paid by PC. This was at a time when divorce was difficult, and after her husband had repeatedly threatened to have her committed to an insane asylum as a means of maintaining control over her. 6 years later, she began working at various jobs, renovating her house and writing poetry. By 1951, all of her children were on their own. Oh, that was still recording. Ooh, my phone's about to die. In the early 1950s, while reading a discarded copy of the August 1949 edition of National Geographic magazine, she found an article about the Appalachian Trail. Following year, at the age of 67, she told her grown children she was going for a walk. They did not ask for where or for how long, as they knew she was resilient and would take care of herself. So she just went walking. 146 days she walked. At the top of Baxter Peak, she signed the register, sang the first verse of the song America the Beautiful, and spoke out loud, "I did it, I said I'd do it, and I've done it." So she got really famous because of that. She made hiking pretty popular. She walked the Oregon Trail. I don't want my phone to die. Every January, beginning in 1967, she led a 6-mile hike through Hocking Hills State Park in Ohio. For her last hike in 1973, more than 2,500 hikers showed up. Wow. When she was in her early 80s, she spent 10 or more hours a day clearing and marking a 30-mile hiking trail through Gallia County. Very interesting. She was 85 when she passed from a heart attack. She had 1 surviving sister plus 66 living descendants, 11 children, 24 grandchildren, 30 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild. Wow. Her grave marker says simply Emma R. Gatewood, Grandma. So she was like everybody's grandma. Man. Shout out to Grandma Gatewood. And this, my friends, has been another episode of the Friday Podcast with your host, Chris Chaos. I wonder if I could do a quick freestyle. Hold on, let's see. Let me get to the music. Okay. I got them Friday vibes. I'm feeling Friday vibes. I got Friday blaze and I'm Friday high, man. What it do, man? I'm flying on by, coming through like a train in the motherfucking sky. Choo choo, see the smoke in the air, but I don't really care. Just put it in the air, man. Look at the hair, feeling so fresh that I don't even care if I'm going to death. I don't even know, guys. I'm gonna get back to the freestyle soon. I don't want my phone to die, and I don't want to take another break to get some water and shit. Anyways, this has been a lovely time. I love y'all. Have another great week. See y'all next time. Peace.